everyone, my name is Reverend Birgit Gaudreau, and today we're going to study Exodus chapter 24. I want to welcome you all to my channel. In this chapter, we're going to learn about the blood covenant that God made with Moses and the tribe of Israel. Now, to start this chapter, God called Moses, his brother Aaron, and Aaron's 2 sons, plus the 70 elders to come up towards the mountain and worship from afar.
Verse 4, And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and he rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel.
So Moses built an altar at the foot of the mountain and 12 pillars to represent the 12 tribes of Israel.
Verse 5 to 8, Then he sent young men of the children of Israel, who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to the Lord. And Moses took half the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant and read in the hearing of the people. And they said, All that the Lord has said we will do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood, sprinkled it on the people, and said, This is the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you according to all these words.
This blood covenant was made 50 days after Passover. So here we see that God literally made a blood covenant with the people of Israel. Moses was told to kill the ox and then take half the blood and sprinkle it, or in Hebrew it says throw it over the altar, and then throw the blood, or in our Bible says sprinkle the blood over the people of Israel. This was a covenant that God wanted between him and the people of Israel. This covenant with the people of Israel is still valid today. This is a covenant for all time. No matter what happens with the children of Israel, if war happens, which is happening right now, a war in Israel, God is behind the people of Israel through this blood covenant he made back then when Moses was with the children of Israel. So the blood covenant with God is a sign of redemption, purification, and preparation for what God is going to do next. And we know what God is doing next. He's sending Moses up on the top of the mountain, and Moses is going to come back with the 10 commandments that the children of Israel are to obey and carry on in the next generations.
Verse 9 to 11. Then Moses went up, also Aaron, and Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel. And they saw the God of Israel, and there was under his feet as it were a paved work of sapphire stone, and it was like the very heavens in its clarity. But on the nobles of the children of Israel he did not lay his hand. So they saw God, and they ate and drank.
Now we don't know how far they were up in the mountain, but it is something we cannot imagine that they saw God. How much of God they saw, we don't know. Maybe it was a glimpse of God, but they sat there and ate and waited on God. When they were drinking and eating together, they were actually fellowshipping with God.
Verse 12 and 13. Then the Lord said to Moses, Come up to me on the mountain and be there, and I will give you tablets of stone, and the law and commandments which I have written, that you may teach them. So Moses arose with his assistant Joshua, and Moses went up to the mountain of God.
So now what is very interesting is Moses got up and took Joshua with him further up to the mountain towards God.
Verse 14 to 18. And he said to the elders, "Wait here for us until we come back to you. Indeed, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man has a difficulty, let him go to them." Then Moses went up into the mountain, and a cloud covered the mountain. Now the glory of the Lord rested on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And on the 7th day he called to Moses out of the midst of the cloud. The sight of the glory of the Lord was like a consuming fire on top of the mountain in the eyes of the children of Israel. So Moses went into the midst of the cloud and went up into the mountain. And Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights.
So I'm just thinking about Moses right now being up on the mountain for 7 days. We don't know if he had water or food with him, waiting on the Lord. And he must have had a lot of patience and a lot of faith towards God. So on the 7th day, then finally God called on Moses. And on top of it all, he was on the mountain up there for 40 days and 40 nights. And I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure, that the glory of God covered him and that he did not need anything. And we know the outcome. We know he took the 10 Commandments with him down to the children of Israel. And in the next chapter, we're going to learn what happened next. So everyone, thank you for joining me for this study, and next time we'll study Exodus chapter 25. And we know that Israel is in war right now, so please pray daily for Israel.